And it made just for like a memorable, little things like that make for memorable experiences that like you and your team remember. And our one teammate who is a local here who planned everything, which was awesome, he just looked up when the guy with the pig walked by. He just looked up and said, "Welcome to West Virginia." So it was really fun. Hello everyone, welcome to another random walk with Elaine. Today I am in Valley Falls State Park, West Virginia. Lots of waterfalls here on the Tigard River, and I found out the state park has another one of the Almost Heaven West Virginia swings. So on the map of West Virginia here, the state park is kind of located in this area here of the state. So once again, I couldn't pass up the chance to take a ride on the swing again. The last swing I found was the first swing, was in Keystone State Park, and looked up on the map, and it just so happens this state park also has swings, so had to check it out and visit. So we're going to go on a fun little nature walk here and check out the waterfalls as we go. So the reason I am here in this area of West Virginia is for work this week. And did you know West Virginia has a NASA facility? Well, they do. It's the Katherine Johnson. It's called IB&B, Independent Verification and Validation, IB&B facility. So think a lot of software, a lot of coding, things like that. So yeah, was here and was utilizing the conference room there at the facility for meetings and everything, and finished up about 2 days of meetings for work, and had some time in the afternoon, so looked on the map and found out the state park was like 30 minutes away. So had to come down here and check it out. They have a couple of really neat waterfalls that I want to show you all as well. And it's really amazing. It's like one of those things that I like to do after being at work, especially team meetings and things like that, where it's a lot of intense concentration, to come out and just spend some time in nature. And when you can find features like waterfalls, that makes it all the better. So I'll show you approaching the edge of the landing here to show you one of the first overlooks of the waterfalls, which is just amazing. And we'll look downstream as the sun is starting to go down behind the mountains in the evening here. So yeah, that's the first waterfall overlook, and we'll go hike to the second. So yeah, like I said, after an intense day of work and meetings, I just feel it's like really important to spend some time decompressing and to just find some blue sky, some running water, and some green trees, and just take that time to recharge and just, yeah, take a breath and enjoy the sounds of nature. There are a ton of birds and butterflies here. It's really just nice, and it's really nice that it's not far to drive to as well. It's very easy to access. And in our meetings for work, we did this as well, where our group was about, I don't know, probably about no more than 8 to 10 people, kind of a thing. But it was nice because during the day, everybody recognized also the need to kind of take a break for lunch. And a group of us went outside because they had a nice little picnic table out back. And for a lot of group meetings, especially when it gets to larger and larger group meetings, you will always find me, if the weather's nice, you will always find me taking lunch outside at a picnic bench or whatever I can find. just taking that 20, 30 minutes, hour, whatever, to just kind of rest the brain, focus on something else, and have the eyes focusing on natural colors like the greens and blues and browns after staring at a screen all day is just really nice. And so our little group went out and spent lunch outside. The weather was amazing. It was warm here last week in West Virginia, so the weather worked out beautifully. And our little group both days went out and sat outside, and it was just really nice. It was really great way to connect as a team as well. And then another thing that we did as well was we did a group dinner in the evenings, and the group dinner was at a restaurant that had outdoor seating along the river, and it was nice just to sit there and enjoy looking at the river. There was a bike path right next door, so looking at the bike path and everything, and everybody was outside. All the locals were outside enjoying the weather, which was great, and it made for great conversation too, because there was a local that came walking by. Most people are walking dogs, and this man was walking a potbelly pig, which was really cute. And just spontaneous things like that make for great stories. Like, we all laughed, and it made just for like a memorable little things like that make for memorable experiences that like you and your team remember. And our one teammate who is a local here who planned everything, which was awesome, he just looked up when the guy with the pig walked by. He just looked up and said, "Welcome to West Virginia." So it was really fun. So yeah, I want to show you all. This is the other waterfall, which is just amazing. And we'll look downstream a little bit here too. So just coming out here, spending time. It is not crowded at all. There have been a couple of people here that have been wandering around exploring the waterfalls, but it's a weekday right now, so not that many folks. But it's just nice to see other people too that still come to state parks and still recognize the need to go and explore these natural places to support our state parks. I love visiting them because there's a lot of history to explore as well, in addition to the trails and things. And it's just a really fun way to learn about things that you never knew before. This is kind of spontaneous for me, of just looking on the map and seeing where there was a state park close by. It mentioned Waterfalls, so it's like, Waterfalls, I am in. I'm gonna check that out. So yeah, totally spontaneously found this area. Really glad I did, to spend the time to explore it and to walk along the water for a bit and just recharge for me after, it was an intense 2 days of meetings, but it was just really, really nice after all of that to just come here, spend time, and I feel so much better now. And it only takes like just a few minutes. So I would say, if you're working, especially in an office area where honestly a lot of our offices are not designed for interaction with nature, cube farms and things like that can be just, and fluorescent lighting and everything, it just can be like really difficult to spend a lot of time in those conditions. If you can just take that time to find that little bit of nature to enjoy, it makes all the difference. Another thing that I do is, when the weather is nice at my office in Washington, D.C., is that there is a roof area to access. And so at lunchtime, if the weather is good, you will almost always find me up on the roof. Um, you can see the blue sky. You can see the planes flying into Washington National Airport, which is fun to watch. And then on the other side of the building, you can see the Capitol and just a lot of the downtown, DC area. So, but there's things like, little rooftop gardens and things like that. And I find when I'm spending the day in the office, it just really, that little break in the middle of the day really helps me to kind of reset, recharge. I don't have to spend time, talking to people and thinking about conversation and things like that. Again, as an introvert, that can be very challenging and wear you out throughout the entire day. So, yeah, a couple of minutes I usually spend at least, even if I have 20 minutes or so, I will spend that time to go up on the roof, take my lunchbox with me, and just enjoy that time outside. And I have found little methods like that make a huge difference throughout the day, and it kind of has a cumulative effect. It kind of builds up, over time, to where day after day, week after week in the office, it's a lot. It's a lot. It makes it easier to get through the week, especially if it's a challenging week. So, yeah, I just wanted to spend some time in nature with you all and talk about how important it is to do these things. And yeah, I'm so glad that you had a chance to come with me and see this state park. And there'll be many more in the future, because these are one of the things I like to find, that I like to do, go hiking in state parks. So there will be a lot more of that in the future. And as well, if folks are like me and you like to spend time in nature as a break, as a nice mental break, what are some of the favorite sites that you have? Let me know. Or some of the same, like if you have methods for de-stressing in nature as well, even if it's just a few minutes during the day, let me know, because I'm all ears. I like to try different things out as well. So, yeah. So thank you so much for joining me on this really fun hike through the Valley Falls State Park in West Virginia. And I will see you on the next random walk.